Have you ever loved someone who kept walking away? You gave your all, yet they keep chasing everything but you. That's exactly what God asked Hosea to do. But why would a God of love set up his prophet for such heartache? Let's unpack what God wanted to teach us about his love. Hosea was a well known and respected prophet. He was expected to marry a virtuous woman, have children, and live happily ever after. But this was not the case. God told him to marry Gomer, a prostitute. Even before the wedding, Hosea knew that Gomer would sleep around with other men. Yet he said yes, not to the pain, but to the will of God above everything else. When they got married, all Hosea wanted was Gomer's love and devotion. However, despite the love he showered on her, she continued her promiscuous lifestyle. Because of Gomer's unfaithfulness, Hosea endured much pain and profound loss, but his devotion remained constant. He tried everything to convince her of his love, yet nothing he did seemed to work. Eventually, she left him to chase after what she thought would finally bring the freedom and satisfaction she craved, only to end up enslaved. Hosea never gave up on Gomer. After she left, he sought her out, paid the ransom, and brought her home. No doubt the onlookers were whispering and judging for what they saw as a foolish and reckless decision to redeem his disloyal wife. But nothing could deter him. His love was unwavering. This, my friend, is love. But how could Hosea love like that? So deeply, so unconditionally? How could he be so faithful in the face of such heart-wrenching betrayal? Hosea could love like that because he understood God's heart and what 1 Corinthians 13 talks about: selfless and profound love. He knew God would use his story to teach a nation, Israel, about the true nature of divine love. Hosea's story is a powerful illustration of God's steadfast love towards us in spite of our unfaithfulness. This love story is a real-life parable. Hosea represents God's steadfast redemptive love, while Gomer is a reflection of us, unfaithful, wandering, yet deeply loved. Before we start judging Gomer or asking, how am I like Gomer? Let's take a look in the mirror and reflect, because it's easy to see our flaws and miss our own. As children of God, we're called to walk in faithfulness and devotion, to love the Lord with all our hearts, souls, and mind. Matthew 22:34. But like Gomer, we stray. We chase things that promises fulfillment, only to find ourselves enslaved by them, trapped in a cycle of sin, shame, and distraction. We may not relate to Gomer's exact action, but her story is our story. We sometimes behave like unfaithful spouses with God, giving our hearts to things that were never meant to hold them: careers, approvals, habits. We chase after things hoping to feel whole and often end up more broken than before. Like Gomer, we keep walking away from God, the one who truly loves us. Just as unfaithfulness wounds a spouse, when we stray from God, we break his heart. Yet, he never stops pursuing. The love God has for us doesn't flinch at failure, sees the worst of us and still chooses us, isn't reactionary, suffers long, and is rooted in his nature. God is love. 1 John 4:8. And love is who he is, not what he does. God wants us to see through Hosea what real love looks like. Love that doesn't give up. Love that redeems. Love that restores. Love that stays. He desires a joyful, fulfilling, and intimate relationship with us. God's love for us runs deeper than we could ever imagine. This story isn't isolated. The whole Bible echoes the theme of love. But God demonstrates his love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Romans 5:8. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. John 3:16. Jesus, like Hosea, didn't wait until we clean ourselves up. He stepped into our mess and paid the ultimate price for our redemption when he died on the cross. At times, we might feel far from God, Shame, regret, and distraction may convince us we are unworthy of His love. But here's the truth: we are never too far gone from God's love. He's always reaching for us. He wants us to know that we are loved. His love for us will never fail, fade, or end. As we reflect on God's love and how much we are or aren't like Gomer, let's be intentional about our actions because they bring joy or pain to our God. If there's anything that we've been chasing that has taken us away from God's heart, let's take a moment to pause and be honest with Him today. Let's turn back to Him. He desires that we walk in complete devotion. Remember, you are loved beyond measure. If this spoke to you, take a moment and thank God for His unfailing love in the comments. Until next time, see you along the God-directed path. Have you ever